Hi guys, welcome to the second video for our tutorial here. We are now in the Handshake CRM, that's the Zoho CRM. This is exactly what you would typically see when you log into Zoho. We are using one of our agents, Oscar Garcia's Zoho. I'm going to pass this on to Dennis. He is literally going to show you how to input a lead, show you how simple it is. The only thing that we can stress right now is that we need to make sure that all the spelling is correct. Down to every letter on the name, and also the Medicare number being correct, because these can go back. Other than that, if you have all that input into the system correctly, that should be it should be perfectly ready to go. So without further ado, I will let Dennis kind of go through that, and then we'll touch on some email addresses that you guys can contact for any additional information.
Hey guys, this is Dennis. So we're going to go over this little tutorial really quick. When it comes to the home page here, very easy. You can see to the right over here all the leads you've put in today, for example, and there's multiple pages sometimes. It just gives you a nice little screenshot. And then you do have deals you've closed, whether it's today or for the month. You can see a little screenshot here, and there's even refresh options. So it allows you to really just kind of see things in kind of a synopsis of your activity. The important part obviously for you guys is to add leads and deals. You can do that from over here to your top right. There's a little plus. You can click on lead to add leads that way. Leads tab over here to your left by the home screen. It says leads. If you click on that, it'll take you to all of your leads that you've worked. You can see if, bad, whatever happened, status it, follow up, application submitted, however you guys want to. That's where you'd be able to see all the leads. Now, to add a new lead, you'd click up here to that top right, click that little plus icon, and then lead right there. It's at the top, the first thing. Once you click on lead, this is where you'll be putting all the information in. Obviously here you'd put in the first name, and I'm going to actually do this just to show you guys exactly everything that it's going to require information-wise. So I'm going to put my info in here, my first name, lead status, obviously what happened with the call. Let's say it's a follow-up. Last name. Over here you can see the reason for bad or inactive based on the status. So if this was actually a bad one, I would put on bad or inactive if it was a bad lead, for example. And then there's some statuses here. You guys are going to really focus on either follow-ups or applications submitted. But here's your statuses.
So Dennis, really quick question. If they have an application submitted, do they need to put the bad inactive reason?
No.
Okay, great.
And then with the phone number, obviously you're going to need the person's contact information, so their phone number.
And do we need to enter it with any dashes here or no?
No. Okay. You can literally just put it in nicely just like that. No dashes, no parentheses, nothing. Over here is the lead source. Depending on what you guys are going to be doing, you might have different lead sources. I'm not sure how that's going to be set up for them. But there is different lead sources that we utilize based on where that lead came from or that prospect came from.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think your lead source would actually be unique to your campaign. We can get into that later, but we can definitely let you know which one to select.
And as you guys can tell, the lead owner is automatically set up because you're logged into your actual portal. So this is always going to be there for you as the agent. And then down here, if you scroll down, you're going to have the address information. Street address, obviously, city, state, zip code. All of this is required information, and all of this is very important when it comes to having correct information. You want to make sure you have the right address, the right spelling, and everything. Same with the name. Some people do have middle initials, as you guys know. Whatever shows on their Medicare card is the most important to capture. And then if you keep going down, the qualification data, their gender, their date of birth. On the right over here you'll have their height and their weight and ethnicity. Ethnicity is optional, but we always do ask, and people usually do give it. It's not too bad of a thing to ask for, just to collect data. If you keep going down, this is where it's going to ask for their insurance information. Some individuals could have just primary Medicare A and B, as you guys know. Others could have, let's say, a Humana PPO on top of it as secondary. So usually what we deal with a lot of the time is going to be the just Medicare A and B original. I know you're going to have situations where it is UHC or whatever, so you'll be able to pick whichever carrier or secondary coverage that they do have. Obviously down here is the claim number for Medicare, so you're going to have to make sure you have that right. This is the very important part. A lot of these can be wrong, especially if the individual does not have their Medicare card in front of them. So we want to make sure we capture the correct information, phonetically spelling things as well, and saying the number slowly, just making sure you capture the right number here. Same with the secondary coverage if they do have it. If they don't have it, obviously you can just leave this blank, but everybody should have Medicare A and B, and this is definitely a required field. If you keep scrolling down, you'll see the cancer history, and this obviously individual could qualify based on personal or family history, depending on the situation. It could be personal and then another family member over here. So you do only need to collect 2 instances of cancer history. If they have more, you don't have to put that in. So only 2. If they have 1 case of a history with 1 individual, obviously you'll only utilize this part here. So if it is personal or family, you select which one. Let's just say for this scenario, it's family. The next option is going to ask what the relation is. So it could be a parent, grandparent, sibling, child, aunt, uncle, cousin. We're just going to put aunt, uncle. Obviously, what side of the family, maternal, paternal, and if it was a sibling or a child. Let's just say it's on my father's side of the family, so paternal. Cancer site, now this is going to ask what type of cancer they've had. You have a decent amount of options here, but if none of them are there, obviously you're going to click other or please specify. For this example, we'll just put lung. And if you did select please specify, in this field you'll write whatever the other cancer is that they do have. And then you do need to collect the age. A lot of people will say they don't know the exact age. They can take a roundabout guess, but we do want to collect this information from them as well. This is going to be very important. And then the last step, we're almost done there, so that's basically all the information you need to collect. The last step is just collecting doctor information, literally asking the customer which doctor they go to, who is their primary care doctor that they're going to want to include in on this. The results of the screening get sent to the doctor, and that's why we would want this information. If they don't have a primary care doctor, you could just put a facility name in here that they go to, and then once the lab gets the test or the kit, they actually, before they even send it out, they actually will call and confirm a doctor with the prospect or individual. So here, again, either facility or doctor name, and then obviously the phone number. I'm going to just use dummy phone numbers here. And then the doctor's city. Once you fill all this out, you would literally just click save. And what I'm going to have to do is kind of fill in these fields really quick. As you guys can see, it's a very simple and quick process. Once you get people on the phone, just putting some of this information in there. It's not really much to do, and it's very quick. A lot of this we actually fill out in about anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes, depending on the phone call. And see, though, there is some very required fields, so you want to make sure everything I went over is included. It won't allow you to save otherwise. And here, I'm glad this happened. When you're putting in a date of birth, you do want to make sure you have these forward slashes in there, or else it's not gonna take it. And now I can click save, and it should save. So I'm really glad that error actually did happen. It wouldn't have allowed us to save if you didn't put in the date of birth with the right format. And now we have this. The lead is in here. It's saved as a lead. The last step is literally to convert this into a deal, because obviously we got all the information. It's going to be a submission. And then right there in the top right corner, you're going to see the convert button. It turns green when you hover over it. Once you click convert, all you do over here to your left is create a new lead for this contact. So you're going to make sure you check that off. And then the most important part here is the closing date. You have to put in a date here, or else this whole process is going to get funky, and it's going to be mistakes all over it. This is the most important part. This is the right way to convert, is make sure you have today's or whatever the closing date is in there. The date is going to be very, very important for this. Once you have the date, everything else automatically fills in. You don't have to touch anything else. So again, I just literally click that checkbox, make sure I have the date in there, and then I click convert. And now that's it. The lead has been converted into a deal, and you're all done in regards to entering in the information on Zoho. And if I go back to my home, I can see that that deal that I actually had just submitted and entered in. As you guys can see, for the closing this month, my name is at the top, and it says submitted internally. That means I did it correctly, and the deal is in. And it's no longer a lead because we converted that lead to a deal.
And that's it for putting a lead into Zoho. One last disclaimer, guys. If you guys get an individual who wishes to not be called anymore, you're going to want to send an email with their information to dnc@oxfordgp.com. That's D like dog, N like Nancy, C like Charlie, at Oxford, G like go, and P like Perry.com. You're gonna send that. You're gonna send that out to them. If someone would like to request some more information about what they're doing, you want to send that at info@oxfordgp.com. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.